So guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. So guys, we've got a monster fight. We've got a monster fight which I wanted to talk about. Riel Casimero will take on Guillermo Rigondeaux August 14th. I don't know why the talks between Casimero and Inoue fell down. I don't know what happened there. You know, that fight was all set before the pandemic. I don't know if you remember last year. It was April, I believe it was April something that fight was meant to take place. But unfortunately, because of the pandemic, things fell away. And Casimero got very frustrated because Casimero was stranded in Las Vegas. And obviously he had to pay his team and etc. And it was a tough situation for Casimero, very tough situation. And Casimero hasn't fought since then, and he's been very frustrated. I believe Casimero might have been, I know Inoue has been signed by Top Rank, but I think Casimero may have also been signed by Top Rank. I'm not sure. Maybe one of you can confirm. But Casimero has been left very frustrated, and he still hasn't got the fight with Inoue, but he has got the next best alternative, which is Guillermo Rigondeaux, who's obviously a great fighter. You know, he lost to Lomachenko, but let's be honest, I think that was a step too far in terms of weight for him. This is a brilliant fight. This is a brilliant fight. You know, Guillermo Rigondeaux is probably at the end of his career. You know, Casimero's coming into he's in his prime. He's looking great of late. You know, but he hasn't fought for a while. Or did he fight Duke Mia? But that was quite a while ago. But wherever, he hasn't fought. I felt like he hasn't fought for a while, I don't think he has anyway. Correct me again if I'm wrong. I don't think he's fought since the COVID situation, if I'm not mistaken. But he's now got a fight against Guillermo Rigondeaux August 14th, which is a cracker. Now, this isn't a unification fight, which is a damn shame, because this fight deserves to be a unification fight. Now, Guillermo Rigondeaux is the WBA regular champion. Inoue is the super champion, which means that this isn't a unification fight. If Casimero is to come through, which, by the way, you know, Casimero's got a big, you know, he's got big cojones. You know, he's got a big heart. To take on such a tough fight, you know, before an Inoue fight is very dangerous, because Guillermo Rigondeaux, he's a technician, he's a master. You know, he's a master at work. So this is a very hard fight for Casimero, but that's the lion-hearted Casimero. Casimero wants to prove he's the best bantamweight in the world, and he's not gonna give way. Listen, Casimero, for me, is a very good fighter. Got very fast hands, got a good chin. He lost a couple of times, which came on a bit earlier on in his career, but now he looks a beast, and he wants to prove that, you know, the fight with Inoue fell through. He's got a lot to prove, Casimero. And imagine if he was to beat Guillermo Rigondeaux. What a name to have on your record, a legendary name. Rigondeaux is a special fighter. If Rigondeaux comes at his best, Rigondeaux is going to be a problem for Casimero, because Rigondeaux might just know too much for him. But I favour Casimero, the youth, the speed, the hunger, the determination. I think it might be too much for a guy that's, some people say he's in his late 40s. Some people say he's a lot older than what his age is stated. And listen, look at him. He looks really old. Really old. I don't know, you know, some people say he's 50. I don't know whether to believe that, because how can a man be fighting if he's near 50? Which is incredible. If he is 50 and he's still fighting, Rigondeaux is unbelievable. He's an incredible athlete if he's fighting at that age. But that aside, I think this is a great fight. I think it's a great matchup, and I think all the frustration that Casimero had, it's an opportunity for him to go out there and display a great performance against a legendary fighter in Guillermo Rigondeaux. You know, Rigondeaux is a special fighter. And like I said, if he's got anything left, then Casimero's got a fight on his hands, because Guillermo Rigondeaux is a talent. He's a master. And to be honest with you, in his prime, you'd have to say he'd be a firm favourite to beat Casimero. You know, in his prime, against Inoue, it would be a problem. But these are the kind of fights we want to see. And big kudos to Casimero taking this fight. Respect to Casimero taking this fight. Because he didn't have to. He could have waited out and waited for Inoue. But you know what? He's thinking, no, I want to jump in. I want to jump into the best fights possible to test myself against the best. And I think this is a great matchup. I think it's a great matchup, and it's a matchup that I'm looking forward to. And I can't wait. I think Casimero is looking for that Inoue fight. Now, I don't know why that fight fell through, if I'm honest with you. I know the pandemic and all of that stopped it, but come on. They could have pushed that fight through. That fight was one that I was looking forward to, and it was one of the fights that I was really looking forward to. Unfortunately, because of the COVID situation, everything went up in the air and the fight got cancelled, and it left me gutted, to be honest with you, because that was one of the fights that I was looking forward to the most. That one and the Lopez-Lomachenko one. But that Lopez-Lomachenko fight happened. Now, there are a few fights that fell through and didn't happen. Now, Billy Joe Saunders and Canelo fell through, but that's happening. Casimero and Inoue is another one of those fights where that fell through and that didn't happen. You know, that didn't even get arranged again. And it's surprising that that didn't get arranged again, because think about it, right? I don't know whether it's to do with Inoue because they want to build Inoue into a star and they want to have a crowd there for that fight. It may be something to do with that, because it didn't make sense why you would do Lopez-Lomachenko, but you couldn't do Inoue Casimero. So that didn't make sense to me, because obviously Lopez-Lomachenko is a bigger fight than Inoue Casimero. So if you can do that fight, why couldn't you do Inoue and Casimero? I think it's personally to do my opinion, I don't know if this is true, but my opinion is that it's something to do with them trying to build Inoue into a star. And I think they want a crowd there for them to see Inoue in action, maybe to build his profile, build his star appeal, because Inoue in Japan is a superstar. So they're trying to build that kind of superstardom, not just in Japan, but in America as well. And they probably think we need a crowd. So I think that's probably why it got cancelled. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe I might be wrong. But either way, you know, Casimero v. Guillermo Rigondeaux is the next best option. I think it's a great next best option. I think it's a great fight. I'm really looking forward to Casimero taking on Guillermo Rigondeaux. I think it's a fight for the fans. I think we're gonna enjoy that one. I think we're gonna enjoy it, and then hopefully, if Casimero was to come through, by the way, it's no easy fight. I'm not by no means saying that Casimero is gonna beat Guillermo Rigondeaux, because Rigondeaux is a special fighter. But if Casimero can come through that fight, then a massive showdown, a unification bout. We come a step closer to the unification bout between Riel Casimero and Naoya Inoue. So I can't wait. Casimero's got a very, very good couple of months ahead of him. You know, if he can come through this Guillermo Rigondeaux fight, he's got some big fights there for himself. I think it's a great time if you're Riel Casimero, because now you could have two big fights. You know, and he's fighting an aged Rigondeaux. Don't get me wrong, a master, but an aged master. So is he going to be able to come through that? And if he comes through that, he's going to be going into that fight, into that unification fight with, you know, he's going to hold a lot more, what's the word I'm looking for? He's going to go into that fight, firstly, a lot more confident. Secondly, when it comes to the negotiation table, he's going in my opinion, he's got a better win on his record than Inoue, because Inoue's best win's Donaire, and Rigondeaux beat Donaire. So Casimero will be going into that fight with fuller confidence. You know, so for me, it's a great fight. Obviously, when Rigondeaux fought Donaire, Rigondeaux was obviously a lot more in his prime than now. But it's a great fight. It's a great fight. These are the fights that us boxing fans want to see. This is what we live for. These are the type of fights we like to see. Great fights, 50-50 fights, you know, 55-45 type of fights. Good fights where it gets us excited. And if you're a hardcore boxing fan, you're going to be watching this fight between Casimero and Guillermo Rigondeaux, because it's a great matchup. It's a great fight between two great fighters. One's a legendary fighter, in my opinion, in Rigondeaux. I think Rigondeaux, for me, it was, you know, his career for me he didn't get to where he should have got to, as far as I'm concerned. I think he's underachieved a little bit, probably because of the fact that no fault of his own. The TV broadcasters thought he was boring. You know, he was very inactive. Great fighter, but just a fighter that was underappreciated. You know, the TV networks thought he was boring. Fighters was ducking him like Carl Frampton. Didn't want to go anywhere near him because they thought he's high risk, low reward. And there's too many fighters like that. Lara's another one. Rigondeaux's another one. High risk, low reward. Nobody wants to go. And a lot of these guys don't get the fights that you know, that people want them to be in, because they're high risk, low reward. People view them that they're very high risk, but the reward's not that great. You know, Andrade's another one that people say is like that. So we never really get to see these guys in the fights that we want to see, and their career gets wasted and they go past their prime. And Rigondeaux's another example of that. And maybe their fights come like Rigondeaux's came against Lomachenko, maybe a bit past his prime, and he was fighting a guy too big for him and in his prime. So it was, to be honest, I feel sorry for Rigondeaux. He never got the opportunity. However, he's got an opportunity here because Casimero on a crest of a wave. And if he can knock Casimero off, then Rigondeaux might be in for a massive showdown, a massive super fight, a massive unification fight with Inoue. So both these guys got a lot to play for. Casimero wants to keep hold of his title because he wants to go in a unification fight with Inoue. And Rigondeaux wants to get back to the top. And he knows by beating Casimero and winning the world title, he will be in a position for a unification fight with Inoue, who everybody wants, who is the man right now, who is the guy that people are looking at as the next big, next big star in boxing, especially in the smaller weight categories. Everybody's calls him the monster, and everybody wants to fight him. You know, Rigondeaux's been looking for that fight with Inoue for a while. Casimero's been looking for that fight with Inoue for a while. So it's a fight that makes sense between Rigondeaux and Casimero, and whoever wins this fight is going to be in a very, very good position. And that fight between Inoue is going to be even bigger. If Casimero wins, the fight between Casimero and Inoue becomes huge. If Rigondeaux wins, that fight between Rigondeaux and Inoue becomes massive. So it's very exciting times in around those lower weight classes, because I think these are fights that I want to see. I know Donaire's fighting. Look, I think Donaire's going to fight Obali, which is another great fight. I think that's for the WBC title, if I'm not mistaken. So these are great fights, and fights that are really intriguing to the fans. All these guys are great fighters, and all these guys are guys with names as well. Inoue, Casimero, Donaire, Obali, Rigondeaux. All of these guys are very, to the hardcore fans, are very well known. So it's intriguing that all of these guys are going to be, hopefully all of these guys can match up with one another and fight one another, and we can have a last man standing. A lot of people think it's Inoue, but with the kind of talent that's in around this division, Inoue could easily get beat. Rigondeaux's no easy fight. Casimero's no easy fight for Inoue. These are very tough fights. So I'm really looking forward to who's the last man standing. Leave your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And guys, remember to please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.